back for part three, the third part of this series, this mini series on uh, this tournament I played on Thursday night. Now, from somehow, I don't know how, I have 173,000 in chips. I don't know how that ever happened, but you can see from the clock here, it is now after midnight. It was September, it's now October. How far into October am I going to survive here? It's felt like it's been a very long time. I've been going for 4.5 hours already. Um, yeah. Luckily, I don't have to work the next morning. That's otherwise I wouldn't have played at all because I knew there was a risk of something like that happening. I thought it was a very low risk though, so I certainly didn't expect to still be in the tournament at this point. So I'm in fifth place out of 12. So we're down to two tables. The top seven will make the final table. But you can see I've almost got no bounties. I've just got the one tiny little bounty. It's my thing says 75 cents. You've got $3 roughly. The other four have all got a lot more. So that's been so far it's been my massive failing in this tournament. And it also means if I don't collect any bounties, then I'm only going to make maybe three or four times, maybe not even that of what I started with of my original stake, which after playing for many hours is a bit of a disappointment. So, but you look at who I've got covered here. I've got John Javen. I've got you covered. Um, got you covered. I've got you covered. I mean, at this point, we've got the possibility of getting some bounties is definitely there. We'll just see what eventuates though. Here we go. You've got the big stack at this table. Also, so raise this up here. Not a fantastic hand. That's not a. I think I see bet this. I do actually have. So I've got the top pair. I've got yeah. Here we go. I bet this because I've got my. I do actually have the Broadway. Unfortunately, that was not a good river card for because I don't have the nuts there. The flush has come in. Expecting he's going to check raise if he's got the nut flush or something. So now, don't know about that river card. See what happens though. I'm just going to check this down now. Oh, and look what he's got. He had the full house. He's got aces full of queens there. Wow. A little bit unfortunate that he happened to have something as good as that, from the big blind. So that's where he was. Or was he under? Oh, was he in the big blind? Where was he? Yeah, yeah, okay. So basically, could have anything there, right? So let's play this back again. That's a pretty good hand to wake up with in the big blind, isn't it? I mean, he's got a single ace, pair of ace, queen, queen, four, single suited. Ooh, that's a big hand. So, um, right. Anyway, so here's very next hand. It's actually the very next hand I've got. Um, it's a big hand. This, in that position, I'll just take it down. Okay. That's not a good hand. I mean, even the bucket's not like it's not suited or anything. So in that position, I'm not going to get involved with it. Just looking back at that hand, he had a better hand than me for sure. It was interesting that though, wasn't it? He had no possibility of making a low there, so okay. It's not a good hand. Anyway, just going to walk there. It's a terrible hand there, but of course, I think I call here just because I'm getting 5-1. So what do I do here? I think I'm going to probably fold to a bet here. But he doesn't bet, so I decide to bet the turn. I decide to try and do I? I think I do. Bet half the pot on the turn. I decide I just want to take it down. It's a sort of semi-bluff. And look what I get on the river. I make my eights full. Would you believe it? Um, and about half the pot, and he calls me. He actually split there because he's got the low, right? So his probably one of the best, might be the best hand I get, actually. Um, and then I make, now I've got the nut flush draw here. I've now got the second nut low, so a lot of stuff going on, and the nut flush draw, and my overpair. Now look what I've got here. Whoa, I've got a monster. An absolute monster. Just goes away. So I actually have 187 in chips. A little bit later now. 22 minutes past midnight. Not a bad hand here, but it's not very good when somebody three bets like that. Getting it all in. 60-40. That's what's going to actually happen. They split it up, right? Got a got a pretty big hand here. Five-handed here. Things like this go up in value a little bit. I mean, the king really helps. Um, let's take that down. Okay. Well, I should just limp in here. Complete the small blind there. I don't know. Down to here. Well, the real main problem with this is it's not suited. The ace is not suited. Got the nut low draw here. Bet half the pot. And that's a terrible turn card. Let's check it back. And that's a terrible river card. I absolutely brick this out. Should I try and bluff here? I sort of consider it actually. You can see I'm about to type in a bet size, and I think, but yeah, I think that would have got through, given what he had. So there we go. So John Javen, look, he's getting it all in here. So somebody could get knocked out here quite easily, but they don't. They split it up. So you're actually seeing a lot of chopped pots here, actually. That's 11-handed, big hand here. Don't raise too much. Kind of don't need to now. You're getting fold equity. I'm pretty sure I just get it all in here, knowing that I could take him out here at the $10, and that would be really, really nice, wouldn't it? Sadly, that doesn't happen. 72% there, pre-flop, and I end up losing everything. Oh, crikey. Wow, I had 72% there. So, wow. I mean, that was... Let's just play this back, see what he actually had, how that one went down. Oof. That's where I didn't run well. In certain parts of the tour, obviously I ran very well to still be here. Right, so he's got the nut flush draw. He also has a low possibility, right? Now we're basically flipping when the flop. The flop was a good one for him because he's got the nut flush draw and there are two low cards there. And one of them is on an ace, so I don't have a low draw, but you do. A lot of things sort of conspired against me already here, even though I'm still a favourite. I still have 54%, and that was not the turn card I wanted for sure. I end up with nothing. Whoa! So all turn. And now he's after having all those chips, he's lost some ground there. Got enough here to go with. There's a bugger I couldn't miss. $10 sitting there. But you do what you can. So that's interesting. I've got Got the second nut low draw. Some other stuff going on here. Do I just check this back? How do I bet a small amount here? I think now I've got two pair. Maybe I should just bet this. Two pair, second out low. Okay. I'm guessing we're going to split this, right? We do. So what do you have? I actually had the ace two. That was the problem there. I couldn't. So it was actually my high. I didn't think I was going to lose both sides, but I could have done that. I could have done. Could have done. Yes, I kind of had an emergency high on the river, really. It's about an emergency low. I think I had an emergency high. So back there, when you have the second nut low, you think, he's actually going to have the nut low because he did. So, right, decent hand here, obviously. Eight's not really doing very much. Cool. Well, that is interesting, isn't it? Okay. We'll just get it all in here. Has he got ace two as well? Let's see. Well, at that point, I'm thinking I'm going to scoop this. So I was 72% there on the turn, and we end up splitting. How did that happen? Let's see what he had. So at that point, it's got 72%. So I've got a very good chance of getting his bounty. Ugh. And then he hits a full house on the river. It's like, oh come on, oh come on. Whoa. So this keeps escaping. Though he's gone now. If he's on the other, he must have. He's on the other. What's happened here? Is it another table or what? I don't remember him getting knocked out. His chess Vasca looks fairly good. Alabama seems to be playing a fairly high variance game. I mean, of course, I've got the nut low. I've flopped the nut low. That's all I've flopped. Maybe I should be raising or something here. I think that's what I do. That's right. Because we bet. That's right. He bets so small. He bets so small on the flop. He could be trying to induce. But I thought, well, I've even got the Queen of Hearts. I mean, that's a sort of hand, sort of card you're likely to have. It's a high heart. I thought, well, it's blocking one of your outs to have the flush, and I've got the nuts for low. Okay, so it's gonna just raise and see what he does. If I can get him out, see if I can get him out. But I mean, that could just be to induce something. Could be, you could have 3-2 with a pair with King of Hearts and whatever else. Whatever else of hearts. So what does he do here? Takes his time. And at that point, I think he's actually going to fold. I think he's going to fold. Look at that $13, which, you know, will be in play if he folds. So I can't win his bounty now, but I could if he folds. He doesn't. Right. Now I don't know. I mean, I've got no real high here, so. And then I think, am I going to get quartered? No, I'm not. See, oof, that was interesting, wasn't it? I don't know about the way you play this. And of course, I mean, your hand is shit. Your hand is shit. I mean, okay, you've made a flush here. You've made a third nut low. But actually, I mean, that 9-6 of hearts. Oh, what a shame I didn't have another heart to go along with that queen. I mean, come on, that would have been just amazing. So we split this up. It's 100,000. 7th out of 10. What do I do with this? Do I call? My hand's not very good, but I call this, we're going to a multi-race. A family pot here, I think. Yeah, we got a happy family. And look what I've got here. I've got 4 4s. Now, I really want to not have I would like the low to brick out here, obviously. 4 4s, just imagine it. I bet, I'm sure I bet here. Wouldn't be too disappointed if they'll fold and I get, just take it down right now. But no, you call me. Now the low comes in. Now I don't know what sort of low he's got. Presumably he's got some kind of low. Might be the nut low. It's not good. It's, yeah. No, he doesn't have another 4, but of course a 4. He could have ace 5. He could have all sorts of stuff. Doesn't look like he's gonna. Oh, gonna go away. God, I'm tired. I'm yawning. So of course I get everything in here because I got 4 4s. Damn it! Got 4 4s. And we're guaranteed to split because he's got. I mean, look what he's actually got. He's got the nut low plus. He's also got the 6 high straight as well. So that's why he had a really strong hand. He also knew, he could have known that I didn't have, almost that he didn't have the nut low. Very, very unlikely to have the nut low. Because of his extra juice in his hand. So we split it up, which is actually a little bit annoying when you have 4 4s to be splitting anything. Careu. Careu Patrar. Okay. Careu. That's the word for 4 of a kind. There's also the word for like a frame, like a sort of square, rectangular frame. So I was thinking using the same word for that as they use for quads, which is kind of interesting. But I wonder whether the word quad is etymologically related to that. Interesting. Anyway, I think I fold. I think that's exactly the right decision there. Because I don't have any suits. But put a suited ace amongst that lot and I'd be raising it. I do pay a lot of attention to suits. Or what I'm saying is suits play quite a big part as to what I do. I can't wait to get off to bed, actually. Right, so you've got 10 players left here, including me, which is good. Don't have a big stack. Now don't have a good hand. Didn't flop well. Do have a flush draw, but there's 2 low cards out there. Lows come in now. Just happily get out the way here. Not a 95,000. Ooh, I still haven't got any decent bounties. Look at how big the bounties they have are. Bear, $30. I still have him covered. That's the crazy thing. I'm thinking, is there any way I can try and knock you out? But what hand have I got here? It's not a good hand. I feel I can see a flop with this if I just have to complete the small blind, so that's what I do. Some suitedness there. It's gonna just, okay, that's an interesting flop, but I've got, the trouble is there's 2 low cards. This is the exact problem with a hand like this, right? So, okay, flop. Now what have I got? All sorts of wraps and things here, but the straight, the flush draw is, the flush is out, board's paired, okay. Now, I do actually, of course, have a straight. Now, I have a straight. I'm going to bet. I'm thinking I'm going to bet, but hang on, there's 3 people behind me. There's a flush out there. Oh, look what's out there. So what do I do? Bet's half the pot. I decide to call. because he might just have a low there. That's what I thought. I thought he might just have the low. Instead, he didn't. He had a high, had a full house. I ended up losing. I don't know whether that's but I'm getting 2-1, because I'm not really getting 2-1 because I'm only going to get half the pot probably. I mean, if he has any sort of low. So again, you can see the problem with this hand in the first place. Of course, your hand isn't really very good either. So, because he's in the big blind, so he could actually have absolutely anything. So yeah, he just saw that hand in the big, he had got a free look there, so he could have had absolutely anything there. Right, so here's a good hand, and it's not amazing. 2-2s. I've had a few of these ones with the 2-2s, which have more negatives than positives, but they have some positives. So, okay, that's not a good flop for me. I'm so short, I don't know whether there's much. Okay, I'm going to call here because the bet is so small. But now, I just have to give up on this. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I've got absolutely nothing. No low possibilities. Highs, no high. Right, next one. Down to 48,000 now. Ninth place out of 9. Not been going very well, has it? The last few minutes. 10-1. 10-1 in the morning. And well, that's not a bad flop. I've actually obviously I've got the nut low draw. I just get it all in here. Hopefully the low comes. 61%, 68%, 100%. Wow. So it's funny. I end up because I was thinking on the flop I kind of have some back doors for high, and I make a full house. Make that tens full of aces, huge hand. And I was thinking mostly about the low because the low didn't come in. So I'm still sticking around here. Just fold that back to up to 111,000. Now my hand. So this Tiger Dicing saying this tournament's easy because he came second. Well, he probably won a lot of flips to come second, mate. Right. Um. If that's indeed what happened. So trips with an ace kicker. Okay, I decide to bet 2/3 of the pot here. And they all fold. I'm happy with that result. I'm happy with that result. In position there, so using that to my advantage. Not a great hand here, but it's good enough to open, I think. Middle pair's not helping this. It's suited. It's some Broadway potential. I'm not a big fan. And of course, I c-bet this because I've got my flush draw, and I just take it down. So now we're down to 8. So down to 8. We're down to 8. I'm one of the 8. 8th out of 8. You can see most of this tournament I've been right near the bottom. That's one reason why I haven't managed to get many bounties or hardly any bounties, because you have to have people covered to be able to do that. But now I've got the second nut low, and I've got some straight stuff going on too, so a little bit. So I decided to bet, what was that, 80% of the pot. Right, there you go. Oh, another good hand here. So I'm getting some good hands. Doesn't always, they don't always translate into into good outcomes, but here, so look what I've got here. I've got stuff here for sure. Second nut low flopped. And he just folds. So, whoa, 146. I was on 48 a minute ago. Now, next one, I'm actually a little bit. Now, I think I probably should have done something with this hand. Instead of fold, and look what flops. Look at it. Look at that flop. Would you believe it? I thought about raising or limping. Limping, I think, is terrible from the cutoff. A four-way. Sorry, four-way. I don't think you should be limping anything. So four-handed. 7th out of 8. So it's funny, I was thinking, oh, look how many chips I've got, look how I've chipped up. But of course, I don't have a lot of chips relative to everybody else, even after that. 113. Hand's not very good. Middle cards, Jack Queen aren't suited. Do have the flush drawn out, but my low is hopeless. Decide to bet. I don't know if that's a good idea. Let's check this back. Now, because I hit my flush, I'm sure I bet this. Maybe I should bet. I feel like I wanted to bet quite big actually, but what does he do? He folds, but like, who knows? He might have had a better low, or I don't know whether he would have chopped it up, or whether I'd have won the whole I'd have won the whole pot if he'd called me. I don't know. I think that's a good bet. Now, flop really well here. A big wrap, a big wheel wrap, right? So that's something like 13 outs, I think it is, to hit the wheel. Now, though, that's not a good turn card. I just bet that amount. Now, though, that's a fantastic wheel cut. My wrap comes in. Oh, I think I'm betting a little bit too big here, aren't I? We calls though. Well, now 200,000. Isn't that fantastic? 200,000. Look, I'm third place out of 8. Wow, and I'm thinking I can really kick on here. Really do something. Win the tournament. Who knows? There's 70 something dollars for winning the tournament, and even coming second gives you 70. But the first place, of course, gives you all those lovely bounties as well. You get the bounty for knocking out the second person and everything else that goes with it. So, wow. That's Chess Vasca, who's just, you see this, and all these people here. Chess Vasca, yeah. But $28 already in bounties. Look at him. There's me with 50 cents. It's you know, makes me think that I need to be chasing this tournament. I think this tournament's a bit different from the non-bounty version. That you need to be the you need to be chasing the big the big stack. Trying to see that. So now look at this. We're in the final at the final table, 7-man final table. Now the reason they have a 7-man final table is because is I think it's because otherwise, if they had a six-handed final table, the last 2 tables would be played as 3 and 4, and the table with 3 players would be at a significant disadvantage to the table with 4. So I think that's what they do, and it's actually a bit more interesting to have 7-handed at the final table. 7-handed, I find, is a nice number. So this guy is all in here. He and who knows? I might get a ladder up here. He doesn't have much in the way of bounties either. So it's probably his passage through this tour has probably been a little bit similar to mine. Well, let's see what happens here. Is he going to get knocked out? No, he doesn't. He wins the whole damn pot. This flush. Decent hand here. You see, even though his low got counterfeited, the ace to the 2 came on the flop, so he ended up winning the whole thing, scooping. Oh, so I do have. I call because look what I've got here. I've got the nut flush draw, and I have the second nut low draw. The 10 gives me the nut straight. I completely break this out. You look at it. So 6 hours now. Look at it, and oh, if a different river card, and I could have been like quids in there. Just look at that. Um, One card. It's amazing. One card. It's the chaos theory. Look what I've got here. I've got the nut low draw. I've also got a flush draw. I didn't bet. I'm not sure why I didn't bet really. Still don't bet. Feel like I should have bet the flop there. Now though, I can bet. I'll take it down. Okay. Obviously, I've got a great hand here. It's one of those hands I've had a lot of these today. Well, today's last week now. I've had quite a lot of these where I've got my pocket aces without having great side cuts. I do have a flush here, and I'm pretty sure I see bet here. I think it's a must. I've also got the jack, right? Don't forget about the jack here. bet almost half the pot. He instantly called me. Didn't even think about it. I think do I just check the turn? I need to balance my checking range by doing that with some really, really strong hands sometimes too. And of course, on the river, he just bets half the pot I've got. All I've got are my aces, and I don't think I can call it because I'm only going to get. I've got an ace seven for low. I don't feel I can call here. I just don't think I can do it. So I let it go. Ugh. Lose some chips. I mean, who knows? He could have been bluffing there. I just don't see many bluffs in this tournament, in this game. I saw one earlier on. I can call here. I've got something going. Need a specific kind of flop like that, I guess. But um, right, here we go. Now the thing is, I don't have the nut low. But anyway, I take that down. I feel like I could have got more money in there. I feel like I kind of won the minimum there. Anyway. So a small raise on the button. I'm raising pretty small now. Get a lot more fold equity now. And now I've got the wrap. I've got a wrap. What was it? 16 outs, I think. Sorry, 13 outs, I think it is, to make the nut straight. And there it is. The trouble is the flush is coming in here as well. And unfortunately, the low card comes on the river, and we only split the pot. That's Oh, just look at that. I could have had, instead of 124, I could have had 248. I've had a lot of, actually had a lot of hands like that where it looked like I was very likely to win the whole pot. I ended up just splitting. And that's, of course, I've had other hands too where I thought I was going to die and I ended up surviving. So it's been kind of swings and roundabouts. In fact, I even made the final table, means I must have been pretty lucky. So anyway, decide to bet this. That's not what I wanted. Not wanting to call. Now, what do I have? All I have are my pocket aces, and he just donks into me on the turn. I didn't expect that bet. I really didn't expect it. Um, but yeah, and I fold very, very quickly. So I would have had an open ender here, but uh, no low possibility. The low comes in. Would have had a flush draw. And they split that up. So again, can't get rid of anybody, and I'm at the bottom here. I decided to fold that, which is kind of interesting. Um, I think it's because the ace wasn't suited, but I think I probably needed to. I don't know. It's like being under the gun, actually, though. It's like being under the gun at a six-handed table. So, yeah, have the second up low draw. Decides to fold that too. I'm just being too tight. I don't know. I feel like with my short stack, I just want to wait till I get something good, something, you know, decent. 70,000. Here you go. Now this time I'm getting a price. Got got no suits again. I think it was like the last hand I didn't have any suits either. So just want to see a flop here. It's not kind of not the flop I wanted to see. I'll just get out of the way. 65, obviously. Gonna fold this no matter what happens. Just a bad hand again. A lot of badoogies here. You'll see me. Look at my badoogie videos, everybody. Look at my badoogie videos. Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying that if you really want to, you can. See how I play badoogie, how other people play badoogie, perhaps just as importantly. How not to play badoogie, you can certainly see a lot of that too. Um, Actually, some of the really good badoogie hands are also pretty decent hands here, but obviously none of the badoogie hands have a suit. I mean, it's the actual Badugis, none of them have a suit. Obviously, something like ace, ace, 2, 3, single suited or whatever, that's a monster hand in both games. So, so a couple of, so some, obviously got some huge stacks. I feel that Bam is a good player here. I think they're all pretty decent. The fact that they've reached the final table. Now, see, I'm pretty determined. I'm pretty determined here not to bust out, but I also want to chip up. I'm kind of desperate now. Kind of, well, I am desperate. There's no kind of about it. 5, 10 other blinds, and I've got well, so I'm already putting half my stack in here. Things other people are pretty desperate too in different ways. They can see they don't want to just lose a bunch of chips. I don't have a big bounty, which actually kind of helps me here. It gives me have more fold equity than I otherwise would. I don't have a good hand particularly. Well, I certainly have enough to call if there are no other raises. I'm closing the action here. Just, well, here we go. Call. Okay, do I just check this? Can I just get it all in? It's a pretty good flop for me. 62%, 98%, 100%. Whoa, so it's 146. Wow, yeah, make a straight there and the nut low, wasn't it? Straight and the nut low, is that what I had? I think what I had here. Yeah, so yeah, that's exactly what I had. The straight and the nut low. But that flop was fantastic. And then, yeah, of course he had a better hand than me prior to the flop. Um, So yeah, I mean that was an amazing flop for me. Um, so yeah. Now once again, I've got a good hand, 141. I think I just call though. I just want to see a flop here. And now it's 40. Now I think I fold. Do I fold this? I think I do. And that feels a bit tight, but I just feel that the 2 3s are not helping me here at all. And he was really taking advantage of all this limping here. I mean, I just over limped, but maybe that was too tight. Maybe I should have. Um, anyway, here we go. Now, Elicitor, of course, was all in here, right? It's all in. Um, so if we just go back a little bit. They're flipping pre-flop, so there's a reasonable chance here. It's interesting, isn't it, how they're flipping when you seem to have the best low stuff, and the reason for that surely is that you have, and you also have an ace. You don't have an ace, so having the higher flush must make quite a big difference here. So more likely to make the nut low. Maybe you're more likely to make a better high. I don't know. And you've also got, I mean, higher straight possibilities too with that. Flipping seems about right, I suppose. So anyway, of course, there's a chance that Elicitor's going to go, and we're all going to ladder up. So let's see what does happen. Well, I sort of already spoiled this a bit. He flops the flush immediately, and of course there is a you do though have the really good low draw here. So the low bricks out. Mr. Elicitor wins a big pot. Okay, doubles up. Mr. Klon gets a bit unlucky there, honestly. What do I want to do with this? Do I raise this up or do I fold? How do I play it? I think I fold. I'd have thought about raising it, I think, if you hadn't come in first. But that would have been a bit spewy, I don't know. Kings with some fairly decent low cards. So it looks alright to me. But no, it's probably maybe a bit loose to do that. I don't know. So we've got all in again. They're not quite flipping. He was a slight favourite. Slight favourite there on the. See what they turn over. What do they have? Yeah, okay. So, so yeah, you've got your um, open ender here. You do have a backdoor low draw too. All you really have is the pair. Um, but some of the time, this guy is gonna get knocked out. So let's see what exactly does happen. When they spit so actually um, on the turn, 55 Vic was a big favourite there to actually win the whole pot, like a really big favourite. And then, yeah, that 5 came, right? So that 5 counterfeited your low. So you end up not making a low because it paired your the 5 in your hand, and your 7-3 ended up winning the low. So on the turn, you know, you have the nut straight there. So uh, yeah, very few outs to escape with any part of the pot, but the 5 came. Ah, so they chopped that one up. Anyway, now I'm sort of getting a little bit desperate again. Got a decent hand here. Decent, but not fantastic. Okay. Don't like this at all, particularly. Now I've got nines and threes. Do I fold? Okay. Then what happens? Right, 80. Okay, next hand we've got there. Elicitor again survives. Got it all in there. Here we go. And I want to go with this. Unfortunately, everything's suited. It's a shame it's not everything. Everything is suited. So, but I'm on the button. Certainly worth going with on the button. Uh, so he just three bets me. Sort of sense bud. We're flipping on the flop. Um, we're flipping pre-flop. Well, we're flipping pre-flop. And unfortunately, I'm the one who gets knocked out. So I make the final table. That's kind of nice. But I think I only end up making about $13, something like that. Which is kind of crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? You only get something like six times your, I think I got maybe $15 back. So you kind of make a profit of 600% roughly um, on what your initial buy-in was, which is kind of hopeless when you consider I played for, here we are, 7 minutes to 2 in the morning, and yes, I play for 6 hours and 20 minutes, I think that is, and you're absolutely very tired at this point. Luckily, I don't have any lessons in the morning. Otherwise, there's no way I'll be playing the tournament. You just can't teach English when you haven't had a decent sleep. Then it's just well, it's just irresponsible to do that. If you have one of those like crappy, well, it's not a crappy job, but if you have a job in like a working for, I don't know, a great big office, like I had once in a while, a while ago. It's not. You can get away with that a little bit more, I think. But when it's just one-on-one, face-to-face, you need to look as if you've, you know, you need to look a little bit alive when you work, right? It's you can't just slink into a corner somewhere. So anyway, so so I slunk into my corner after that, a little bit upset. Well, I wasn't upset. I just thought, oh, damn, I played for all this time. I only get a few dollars, basically. That's like no bounties. I was so basically got no bounties, almost no bounties. And well, Mr. Vic was in the same position as me. Yeah, we need to have a little podcast or something, um, group chat or something. How do you win bounties? We need to figure this out. So, Mr. Vic, if you're if you see this video, please leave a comment, and then we can commiserate with each other. Maybe I don't know. I actually don't know how you got on in this tournament. You might have ended up winning it, winning everybody else's bounties. Who knows? I didn't actually see what happened after that. But anyway, that was me. A very interesting tournament. So frustrating because it could have been something really good. But what I was happy with um, was just the experience of playing all these hands in this game that I still don't feel particularly good at. Um, Such a complicated game, isn't it? It's a really complicated game. Uh, you compare it to the other games that I put on this channel. I mean, I've got Badoogie. I haven't put Triple Draw on it on here. I probably should put some Triple Draw on here sometime. Play a Triple Draw tournament sometime and put that up as well. But Badoogie and No Limit Single Draw, which I feel like I've got a pretty reasonable handle on. Still don't know if I'm playing tournaments in those games, you know, in a way that maximizes my EV, even if I feel like I understand the game. That's the only thing. That's my only doubt. That's my only doubt in those two games. I've got doubts everywhere, and it's just an order of magnitude more complicated. People even Hold'em actually is an order of magnitude more complicated than more complex than say No Limit Single Draw. You've got four streets instead of two. You've got to worry about all kinds of different hands. You've got to worry about people's ranges in a very sort of complex way. The board comes such and such. And you think, well, King Jack makes the nuts now. Well, could the person have played King Jack pre-flop like that? Do you block a king or a jack? All this sort of stuff. Where so even that is more complex than say the same single draw. This is it more complex than Hold'em? I guess it is. It's harder to realize what you have. Harder to it's probably less intuitive. That's probably because people are so used to Hold'em now. People's minds are very Hold'emized, but that's one of I think there is definitely some profitability in this game. Um, and even there's PLO as well, which is a relatively popular game, the second most popular game. This is very different from that in the sort of hands you need to be playing there. So, um, but yeah, so it's a hard game. It's a very intriguing game, but a hard game. So anyway, I hope that was sort of enlightening. It was useful for me just to go back over all those hands. But anyway, that'll do. That'll do for this little mini series. 3 videos. I'm going to put them up right now. Maybe later today I'll put them up. So you enjoy your day. Um, Write some comments if you see this video and tell me if I'm just terrible. Please say I'm just a shitty player. Please tell me that. If I'm very tight, if I'm far too tight, please tell me that because I have a feeling that might be the case. Anyway, you enjoy your day, and I will be back with some other videos at some point. Don't know when. Take care, everybody. Bye.